What's up with it? Back with another one. And before you do anything, make sure that you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a sub to the channel. Now this one right here finna get real hectic because finally, didn't even take long, Errol Spence has responded to Floyd Mayweather and Nate Jones. And really, he responded to Nate Jones. Yeah, the response that everybody been waiting for, Errol Spence claps back. Now, like I said, we're going to get into the video. But before we do that, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And just remember, the like button is free. Now, Errol the True Spence, we know the story with him and Floyd Mayweather sparring session that took place back in 2013. People been talking about it for years. I mean, it's not a secret. People have been talking about it for years, and the story initially came out because Floyd had a black eye. And there was a lot of rumors on who gave Floyd that black eye. And it was a young fighter coming up in the game, just starting his career at that time, Errol Spence. And people were saying, yeah, we heard that, Errol Spence, this young kid, Errol Spence, he put it on Floyd Mayweather in a sparring session. And that's kind of how Errol Spence's name blew up in the boxing world before, the general public knew who he was. Off the sparring story with him and Floyd Mayweather. And so a lot of people was talking about it, and it got Errol Spence's name booming. Who is Errol Spence? Who is him? Who is he? We want to see who he is. And during that sparring session, a story was told that Errol Spence put it on Floyd Mayweather, and he put it on Floyd Mayweather so bad that he made Floyd quit, and he gave Floyd a black eye. And, other people were saying, hey, he stopped Floyd in sparring. He stopped him. He was the first to ever stop Floyd Mayweather in sparring. Well, later down the line, that story that Errol Spence stopped Floyd Mayweather, that was debunked by Floyd Mayweather and by Errol Spence. And, Floyd, he came out and he talked about it several times, and he said, hey, man, the kid was tough. Man, he gave me some real good sparring. Also, Errol Spence, he talked about it, and he kind of took the high road all of the time. He was like, it was good sparring. It was good sparring. Floyd is tough. Floyd definitely a dog. So he really never said too much about it. Errol Spence said it. Other people said that, Floyd Mayweather kicked Errol Spence out of the gym. He said, hey, pack your bags and get out of my gym. You need to leave. And then, and this was actually confirmed by Floyd Mayweather. And then Floyd thought about it, and a few people talked to Floyd, and then he let Errol Spence come back. But we all know that, it sounded like that Errol Spence got the better of Floyd. Even people that was close to Floyd, like Leonard Ellerbe, they spoke on it. And they said that they never had seen anybody give Floyd work like that. They never had seen anybody give Floyd work like that. But recently, Nate Jones, which was Floyd Mayweather's Mitt, one of Floyd Mayweather's Mitt men, right? Nate Jones, he came out and he gave a whole different story. He gave a story that people never had heard before. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play y'all the audio that Nate Jones, when he gave the story recently that nobody never had heard before. I'm gonna play y'all that audio, and then we're gonna get into what Errol Spence had to say in response. So let me pull this audio up for y'all right here.
Errol Spence and Floyd Mayweather sparring session. It was very intense. And Errol at the time was trying to prove himself that he was a dominant force in boxing. And Mayweather was, on his last two legs out the game is selling some more money. And so one of the fights that Floyd had scheduled, we used Errol Spence as a sparring partner for one of them southpaw fights that Floyd had. I don't remember which fight it was, but Errol was giving Floyd some good work, man, and it was some intense moments. He was hitting Floyd some good, clean shots. But Floyd been a veteran, smart. Floyd knew what he was doing. He never hurt Floyd. He got Floyd attention though. I've seen him, give Floyd attention, but he never rattled Floyd like Floyd rattled him one day. And a lot of people was going around saying that Floyd was getting his butt whooped in sparring. Floyd was handling well, but Floyd was doing that I had to tell him to stop doing. One day I went off. I jumped on top of the ring and I went off on Floyd in front of everybody. And I went off on him, but I just went crazy. I said, Floyd, why are you jumping back so big in this dude? You're building this confidence up. You're making all these big moves by moving back real big and don't quit making them big moves. Quit making big moves stepping back. Quit when you make a miss, you're doing it so big that you can't respond. You can't deal with him like that. Calm down. Stay in the middle and stay relaxed. I said, start shooting some shit up the middle, man, because his inside open. Man, Floyd boxed in the second round. I said, calm down, quit pulling on this nigga, giving him more confidence. By backing up, and when you throw a punch, you jump back big, and jump back small, jump back enough just to make a miss. So I said, Floyd, when you get in the middle, when you sit down, that motherfucker, every now and then sit down and run some up the middle. Or hit that motherfucker with an uppercut and hurt him. Floyd almost knocked him out. Everybody started saying this, that, and the third about. In training camp, nobody ever seen Floyd rattle in training camp or buckle. I've seen Errol Spence buckle from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd never buckled that night, but Floyd never buckled in the sparring session, but Earl gave him some of the best work I've ever seen.
Now, let's go ahead and stop it right there. That was pretty much what he said. Now, let's talk about it. He said that Floyd Mayweather almost knocked out Errol Spence. And by now, y'all might have heard this story. But like I said, we going to get into Errol Spence's response. But my whole thing is, first off, he's saying that Mayweather was on his last leg. He was just, in the game stealing some more money. Well, this was the Robert Guerrero training camp. This is in 2013. This is before Floyd Mayweather even fought Canelo Alvarez. Floyd Mayweather wasn't on his last leg. At that point in time, he was still at the top of his game. Now, was he in his prime? Nah, he wasn't in his absolute prime, but he was still at the top of his game at that point in time. So he wasn't on his last leg. Floyd was still very fresh, quick, smooth, still had all of his faculties behind him and still had all the skills, right? Hadn't lost no speed or none of that. So he's at the top of his game. Now, when he comes out and he says that Floyd hit Errol Spence with an uppercut and buckled him and almost knocked him out. Why hasn't anybody else ever said this? We've heard, dozens of people talk about this sparring session that was there, that witnessed it, and nobody ever said this story. And my thing is, I believe that Nate Jones is coming up with this story, right? Because Floyd Mayweather, nobody really talking about Floyd right now. Floyd Mayweather always has to have his name in the headlines. He always has to have people talking about him. And when nobody's talking about Floyd or his team, they pop up and they make some stuff happen. They make things happen so people talking about Floyd again. And this is where this is coming from. Floyd got a great team around him, and he always gonna make sure that his name stays relevant. That's all that is. Because if this really happened, we would have heard about this years ago. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into Errol Spence's response. Errol Spence, of course, he heard this, and this is what Errol Spence had to say. He says, Leonard Ellerbe, J. Leon Love, Luis Cubas Arias, Boza Edwards, Sush Powell, countless of other boxers and coaches was in the gym. I try not to speak on sparring, but great work, hell of an experience, never buckled. He capped. He's lying. Laugh out loud. Now, Errol Spence, obviously, he's saying the same thing that I just said. This man is lying. He never buckled me. Everybody in the gym, they all saw it. You can go and ask any of these people that was in the gym that saw a sparring session. He never buckled me. Nate Jones is telling the big fat lie, right? And so, like I said, Mayweather and his team, they're going to make sure that his name is always relevant, that his name stays on top of boxing, and that's just what it is. Like, if you believe this, you're a damn fool. Because if this happened, it would have came out a long time ago. And Errol Spence has one of the strongest chins in boxing. Floyd Mayweather not a puncher like that. So you mean to tell me you want me to believe that Floyd Mayweather hit Errol Spence with an uppercut in sparring with 16-ounce gloves on and buckled him? Nah. We don't believe you. You need more people. You know what I'm talking about? It's just a lie. Nate Jones, you're lying. We understand what you're doing for Floyd, but cut out the cap. Anyway, Errol Spence once again responds to Nate Jones, and he says, "You full of it. You're capping. Ask anybody that was in the gym." Y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole story. Do y'all believe that Floyd Mayweather hit Errol Spence with an uppercut and almost stopped him? Or do you believe the story that you've been hearing from everybody for years, that it was very, very good sparring and Errol Spence was putting it on Floyd Mayweather? Floyd ain't never came out with this story. Of course, he's going to have one of his people do it, you know, to keep his name relevant. How do y'all feel about this? Comment in the comment section. Let me know how y'all feel. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all.